Good morning to you. Why are you calling in more support? Does this suggest that the Defence Force is a little out of its depth here?
Good morning. No, not at all. In fact, the Reserve Force is an integral part of the Defence Force. So we always planned that in events such as we're going through at the moment, we would use the Reserve Force. The role of the Reserve Force is, in fact, to supplement the regular force, and that's what they're doing right now.
What sort of numbers are you hoping to get, and how hard will it be to get the boots on the ground then?
Well, let me say to you, first of all, the response from the reserves has been phenomenal. We've called up certain subunits, companies, and more people are arriving than we actually called up. For operational security reasons, we don't disclose the names of the units or the numbers of people, but perhaps I can give you another statistic. The total size of the Reserve Force is 21,000 people, but we're not planning to call up all of them. But let me also say this is the biggest call-up of reserves since 1994.
Let's talk about the behaviour of some of the members of the Defence Force. We've seen pretty appalling behaviour being captured on cameras, soldiers assaulting civilians, kicking them. What's going on there?
Well, I'm not sure I'm the best person to comment, but let me say that our President, the Commander-in-Chief, President Ramaphosa, our Minister and the Chief of the Defence Force have made it very clear that brutality and abuse of power will not be tolerated. I'm going to be brief because you interviewed the Minister at length yesterday, so I don't want to send mixed messages, but I want to appeal to all the soldiers to stick to the rules as spelt out by the President. And let me also ask South Africans to please cooperate with the security forces, because at the end of the day, we're all in this together.
All right, tell us a little bit more about what the security forces' mandate actually is. How far can they push punishment if needed, if they see it as justified, and when should they be pulling back? Well,
the role of the Reserve Forces, as the President said, is to lead, direct, and help the people. He did say they could be nudged, but nudging is a very delicate term which we don't use. The Reserve Force, and in fact the whole Army, has the right to arrest people. So we would then arrest people who don't comply and hand them to the SAPS, and that's when our role would end. But let me say that the reserves are deployed from all four services at the moment, and perhaps if you've got a moment I'll tell you what they're doing. The Army Reserves are being deployed to the border to avoid illegal movement of people and goods. They're also being deployed with the regular force to supplement them in their support of the police. The Military Health Service has mobilized reserve doctors, nurses, medical orderlies. The Air Force has mobilized air crew and technicians. So you can see it's quite a wide spectrum covered by the Reserve Force.
All right, Roy Anderson, good to talk to you, and wishing you and your Reserve Forces the best of luck in this period of lockdown.